Trump says Iran will be defeated soon. Oil is at $79. Everything's fine. The same day, Iran targeted American soldiers in Kuwait. Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait are facing cruise missiles and drones. America struck back again. Both sides have been saying this for weeks. Everything is fine. US strikes again, Iran strikes back, and the war is spreading beyond the battlefield. As American missiles hit key military targets across Iran, Tehran has widened its retaliation, targeting US-linked military sites across the Gulf. With every exchange, the conflict is drawing more countries into its orbit and pushing the region closer to an even broader confrontation. On July 15th, the United States launched another wave of military strikes against Iran. The US Central Command posted about the strikes on X.
US forces struck Iranian command centers, air defense sites, missile and drone capabilities, and coastal surveillance facilities to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten innocent mariners crewing commercial vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM used precision munitions to hit targets in multiple locations, including Bandar Abbas. Earlier this morning, American forces struck coastal defense and cruise missile sites on Greater Tunb Island during a 90-minute wave.
Tehran responded with fresh attacks on what it describes as American assets across the Middle East, signaling a further escalation in the conflict. According to Iran's Revolutionary Guards, they targeted a gathering of American soldiers and an early warning radar system at Ali al-Salem Air Base in Kuwait. Iranian state media also claimed that military communication systems and fuel storage tanks at Jordan's Azraq Air Base had been struck. Kuwait said it intercepted 4 cruise missiles and 21 drones launched from Iran, while both Kuwait and Bahrain activated air defense systems as hostile projectiles approached their territory. Jordan also came under attack. Iran insisted these strikes were legitimate because they targeted American military assets. Meanwhile, Iranian media reported explosions on Keshm Island, Bandar Abbas, and Chabahar. Iran's state broadcaster IRIB also reported that parts of Semnan Airport had been struck in what it described as enemy airstrikes. Authorities said emergency services were responding and confirmed that no residential areas had been hit. US President Donald Trump announced hours before the new strikes that Iran will be defeated.
The country is booming, and we'll have Iran defeated soon. They'll be defeated very soon. And then I guess it'll be even better. But, even during this, it's been amazing. I mean, to think, so I call it a military operation, but I call it whatever you want. It's incredible. It's like it hasn't made a dent. A lot of people thought oil would go up to $350 a barrel, and today it's at $79. A couple of days ago, it was at $68. It went up a little bit because I had to take tough action because they did not obey what they're supposed to obey. I mean, they just didn't do it. So we took a little action, but when that settles down, I think you're going to have $55 oil, which is all great for what you're doing, maybe less than that.
As the fighting intensifies, diplomatic efforts are becoming increasingly difficult. Mediators now face the challenge of containing a conflict in which both sides continue to exchange strikes across multiple countries. The conflict, which began after the United States and Israel launched attacks on Iran on February 28th, has already claimed thousands of lives, displaced millions, and disrupted global markets through rising oil prices. As military operations continue on both sides, the prospect of de-escalation appears increasingly distant, with each new strike widening a conflict that now stretches far beyond Iran's borders. The United States appears to be preparing for a major escalation in its military campaign against Iran, as President Donald Trump convened a high-level Situation Room meeting on July 14th to discuss plans for a broader offensive extending well beyond the current strikes around the Strait of Hormuz. According to an Axios report citing 3 sources familiar with the discussions, Trump is prepared to intensify military pressure in an effort to force Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and accept Washington's demands over its nuclear program. Sources familiar with the meeting said discussions centered on expanding the military campaign beyond the Strait of Hormuz.
The meeting focused on new plans for devastating strikes on strategic targets in Iran, in addition to the strikes against Iranian targets in the Strait of Hormuz.
The meeting came as U.S. Central Command carried out its 4th consecutive day of strikes against Iranian military infrastructure along the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's southern coastline. U.S. officials said the latest operations primarily targeted air defense systems, radar installations, anti-ship missile positions, and drone launch sites, aiming to weaken Iran's ability to threaten international shipping. While the United States continued its military campaign, Iran reportedly responded by launching additional missiles and drones toward U.S. military bases in Jordan, Kuwait, and Bahrain, further expanding the regional confrontation. According to Axios, Trump was joined in the Situation Room by Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, White House envoy Steve Witkoff, and other senior national security officials. The White House declined to comment on the reported meeting or its objectives. The same day, in an interview with Fox News, Trump signaled that the military campaign was set to intensify dramatically over the coming days.
We're going to hit them very hard the night after. And then next week it gets really bad for them because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Trump then warned that an even broader phase of the campaign could follow if Tehran refused to negotiate. The president also revealed that Washington is closely monitoring Pickaxe Mountain, a deeply buried underground facility near Iran's nuclear infrastructure that U.S. and Israeli officials suspect could support Tehran's nuclear program.
By the way, nobody knows if they even are doing anything in Pickaxe. It's just something that comes up. We have cameras on it. There's very little activity there. But if there's even just a small amount, we'll hit it, and we'll hit it hard.
Trump also claimed that America's bunker buster bombs are capable of penetrating deep underground, while acknowledging uncertainty over whether the Pickaxe Mountain complex is fully immune to such strikes. Meanwhile, the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports officially came into effect on July 14th, adding further pressure on Tehran as both sides continue to exchange military attacks, raising fears that the conflict could enter an even more dangerous phase in the days ahead.